sugar ketchup.
I don't want those calories. Baby boy. Sleeping soundly. Thank God.
So guys, we're having this mukbang tonight in honor of 5 months. Our son is 5. He just 5 months. So not 5, but 5 months. As of 2 days ago, 3 days ago.
3 days ago.
On the 31st, January 31st. And so we thought it'd be cool. So like I was saying, our son just turned 5 months on January 31st. Woo! And so we thought it'd be cool to like talk about our experience in that 5 months, because this has been a culture shock for both of us. Because originally we kind of were like at that point where we were like, we're not gonna have a kid, or like we were like on the balancing beam.
Yeah, we always flirted with the idea, but I think we never thought it would happen.
Right. And by some magic, Christmas magic, the stork brought a beautiful baby boy to our doorstep.
What has your experience been as a first-time father in these 5 months?
It's different, for sure. It's just like before. I mean, it's not like I was just doing whatever I wanted to do with you, but the old ball and chain. But it's just like now, like everything is completely like on his time. So that's a little crazy. It takes some getting used to, okay? But I will say, like, I think I enjoy being a parent more than what I was expecting to. You know?
Yeah, it's definitely, it's hard to explain being a parent.
So what about you? Like, what do you have to say about it?
It's rough at times, but then it's the best thing that's ever happened at other times.
Right.
I think that probably outweighs the bad times.
I mean, cause like
the first 2 months were probably the hardest. And just being in the thick of postpartum and
you were out of work, so
hormones.
You were at home with him a lot more.
A lot of nights crying just for no reason. I had no idea why I was crying, just crying. And he would be like, "What's wrong with you?" And I didn't know what was wrong with me, but it's just part of postpartum, and I don't think anybody really talks about that side of postpartum.
Right.
There was a lot of crying in the shower, but it was more of like grateful crying. I feel like I was more so just like so thankful. I still am so
super
thankful.
Emotional.
Mm-hmm. But it's a shock those first few weeks being at home with baby, your first baby.
Guys, our cat wants to be in the video. I swear, he never does this.
He knows we're filming.
He knows we're filming. And so, what would you say is like your favorite thing, like that, like he does?
I mean, of course, your world just stops. Like anytime he smiles at you or laughs, that's the best thing. And then like recently, like when he gets done eating, he'll just like in the mornings especially, he'll just sit there and look at you like straight in the eyes. That's the best thing in the world. But then like this week it's been rough because he's been going through something. He's been in pain. I don't know. We can't figure out if it's reflux or his food is not getting along with him. But it's been a rough week for both of us. I see probably more so you.
Yeah, I mean, my patience have definitely been tried to a degree, but I mean, it's like you said, like when he smiles or like giggles, like all that, like you don't even really think about it anymore. And it makes it all worth it. I mean, he's a great kid, other than, I mean, when he's hungry, he's another person. And I mean, he gets that from his father. Because I don't do well hungry, so I mean, I totally understand it. And also is, I would say his laugh, his giggle, like when he giggles, like when you tickle him or like when he giggles, like that's my favorite thing. Okay, so we talked about the favorite thing. Okay, so what would you say is the worst thing?
Like I said, when I think like this week when we don't know what's wrong with him, we can tell he's in some type of distress. You don't.
You can't articulate it.
He can't talk.
Articulate it.
We are just trying all types of different things, and it's like, are you doing more harm by trying a bunch of different stuff, or
You just keep doing what you're doing. It's like teeter-tottering like all the time. So yeah.
that's definitely the hardest. And then when he was those first few months, waking up every 2 hours to feed and then eventually 4 hours to feed, that was definitely very rough. But it's something, especially as a mom, it's just, and I mean, and a dad, it's just something that once that baby is born, it's just like that superpower kicks in. And it's just like, before I had a child, I never would have thought I could go off no sleep and still function and
Right.
and be a human without any sleep. But it's like once he's born, it's just, it kicks in automatically.
I mean, he like automatically like I feel like he makes me even more responsible and wanting to like do like, he makes me want to like chase my dreams, I guess is to say.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's just like you want him to see that. I feel like, especially like I don't want to like put that on him. I like the fact that like he makes me like want to do YouTube and like uploading all these videos and like actually filming. This is stuff that I've thought about doing for like years now. We've talked about doing this for years and never did it because fear. I mean, there's no other thing, no other way else to say it, but it's just like with him, like it's like fear doesn't exist anymore. You feel like a Superman, or like you feel like you have to be that.
Yeah.
A superhuman.
I mean, that's the same with me. I've been at the same job for 10 years, and now I've recently just started looking just to try to increase and just grow. And I think it's just because of him. It's just, I just want to be better and do better for him. I was just kind of stagnant for so many years, and it's finally time to start kind of growing and bettering myself.
And I already mentioned it, but I guess this will actually come out before the video. You want to tell them the good news?
What?
About your new job.
Oh. Yes.
What did you think I was talking about?
I don't know. I was like, what good news? You know, so am I pregnant? Am I pregnant?
You had that look on your face.
I was like, where are you going with this?
You had that look on your face. I'm like, did I step out of line? Like, what am I missing?
Yes, I'm not going to say where I got the job, but I got a new job that's going to be 100% work from home, and it's a significant pay increase that I'm pretty happy about.
And that's truly a blessing.
With my old job that I was resigning, they started freaking out, talking about what can we do to keep you, and it's just like, why didn't you try to keep me from the get-go? Why didn't you try to increase my pay from the start? Why do I have to resign for you to say What can we do to keep you?
Well, I mean, I think that's just like with anything. Relationships.
That's true.
I mean, that's just
Because I
part of life.
compare it to like a relationship. Like,
It
that's
is.
what I told my coworkers. Like, I feel like I'm like breaking up with somebody I've been with for 10 years.
I mean, it is a relationship. You're committed to it in the same way that you would to a relationship.
Like, I literally cried like when I sent my resignation letter to my boss. Like, I started at that job when I was 19. I'm 30 years old now.
But let's be honest, you would have cried even if you would have started that job last year.
No.
Guys, my wife, she's very strong, she's tough. But let me tell you, she's a softie, really under all that exterior. And she will cry and drop of a hat. And that's what I love about you, because you're so sensitive and delicate, just like a flower.
No, that's not true.
Don't bother people now. Oh my gosh.
Only you see that side.
This is true. And I thank you for allowing me to see that side.
My family doesn't even know I cry. I've cried. They think I'm like a robot.
Exactly. Because every time I mention anything, like, I'll just say jokingly, like, that you cried about it. And surprisingly, they don't even know. She cries? I'll never forget that when Jenny said that. Does she cry? Jenny is her older sister. Okay, but we're getting off the rails. So we're talking about Preston.
I feel like we had questions written down, but they're on my phone and we're filming on my phone.
What else? I mean, now I would say, like, the one thing that, like, I don't like, I wouldn't say it's about him, but it's just like about having a child. It's just, because like when we first brought him home, like the first week or two, I was having like nightmares of like him, like me falling asleep with him in my hand. And then like I would wake up and I would like start feeling around, like trying to like catch him like before he fell. Like, so I would say like that would be like the one thing, like it's just that constant like worry, like anytime it's just you and him in the same room, it's just like you want to make sure that nothing happens on your watch. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
and so it's just like that constant like restlessness that you feel, especially if he's awake. You know.
Even when he's sleeping, those first few months, I was always like, is he breathing? Is he?
I mean, it's just like period. Like if you wake up in the middle of the night, you're gonna check that monitor and make sure that you at least see his chest moving and stuff like that, or something. You know, a kick, anything.
That's another thing. Like with the monitor thing, like it was that one time. Remember that? Like I didn't hear it going off. It was like the first time, like I think he ever slept in his crib by himself, and I didn't hear it. And you like came from down, like you were down here watching TV, and I was in the bed. And you came and you're like, babe, he's been crying, and I was knocked out. I had no idea, and like ever since that moment, like I've never like if that kid even like breathes a funny way, I'm like looking up like in dead sleep.
I noticed it now though.
So it's like,
Cause yeah, I can feel you like when you jump like at night, like just looking at that monitor.
cause he's just getting to that age where he hasn't started to roll yet, but it's just like it's scary. Like, what if he just up and decides to start rolling? And
I mean, cause it's just crazy. Like that's also another thing. Like with babies, it's just like they literally grow right before your eyes. Like literally.
mm-hmm.
Like what size diaper was that he had that time?
He was wearing like a 1.
Like it was fine. Like when we put it on, like at the beginning of the day, and then we go to her sister's house. I mean, maybe not even like 3 or 4 hours later, and like he's too big for the diaper, and they're looking at us like, "What are y'all doing? Like, do y'all know what's going on? He's grown."
1, no, we have no clue what's going on. We're new parents. But 2, this kid is literally growing before our eyes.
I mean, he literally grew like a beanstalk. Like Jack and the Beanstalk. I mean, that's one thing. I mean, it's just, yeah. Okay, so
I say, hold on. I have another thing. Is like you mentioned the other day, like this week he's been giving you a little bit of heck, and he's just been so fussy and in pain. And it's like I try to, when I'm off of work, I try to just get him out of your hair and just give you some time to breathe. And it's like you mentioned, like he gives you all that heck, but it's like as soon as he's gone, like you immediately miss him, and it's like it's just so crazy. Like I can't even be like 2 hours away without missing him and just thinking about him.
Exactly, because it's just like as soon as you take him out of the door, it's just like you start feeling like a lot of stress, like and that's another thing. Like he's nowhere around, but I still like feel that like, oh my god. I just hope they make it okay. I mean, I felt that like with you before, but it's like now, like it's like, man,
Yeah.
everything just walked out the door, and you just pray that it's able to come back.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I interrupted you. What?
No.
You probably don't even remember what you were gonna say now.
Okay, what's the thing that's like surprised you the most? Like, not necessarily like about. I mean, it could be about like babies, but like maybe like something like in you. Like, what's something like that you didn't know? Whether it's like an emotion or something like that you didn't have like before that you have now.
I say it's probably just. I didn't think. I mean, I don't want to like toot my own horn, but like I didn't think I'd be the mother that I am. Like the playing around and like playing with him and stuff. Because like the way I was with kids before,
I'll attest to that. I
was never like the most loving towards kids. Like I'd be like, I'd play with them for a little bit and be like, get out of here, you're being annoying. But like now it's like that's completely changed.
Right, because her sister has a 10-year-old, an 8-year-old, and a 6-year-old, and so we've had them. I mean, and at times they'll come over and like you're not very warm to them. Let's just say that.
I was a strict aunt. I'd be like, no, you're not having that. Like, get out. No, stop being bad. And now, I mean, I feel like I'll still be a strict once he's
older
and disciplined.
Right.
I think I'll still be strict, but I didn't think I'd be like this fun. I don't know. Maybe I'm not fun, but just this lively.
No, you're fun.
Even my mom was like, you're a good mother. I'm like, what did you expect? But I mean, I see what she expected with the way I was with kids before.
Yeah.
What about you?
I mean, I think he stopped me from like being lazy and just like lethargic and just, you kind of drag your feet with a lot of stuff, but it's just like with him, you can't really afford to do that. You can't just let him sit in his poopy diaper all day, or if he peed in his diaper, like you can't just let him sit there like that. So that, and then I mean, I guess that's probably like the number one thing. I mean, he's kind of like broke me out of that, and I feel like cleaning up after him and stuff like that, because I don't clean up after myself, or like I never did before, and now I just feel like, I don't know, he's really like, I think he's changed me a lot, like for the better.
Yeah, he's changed me in that same way too. Yeah. You just can't be lazy. Like there's no being lazy. Cookie.
Yeah, not at all. Sealed with a smile.
Can you imagine right now having another child?
Right now?
Like with the stage he's in, could you go back to having a newborn child now?
No. And truly, anybody who does, you are truly blessed. You understand? And highly favored, I would say, because I don't see how, like,
it can be done. Just like I said before, like you think it's not possible, and it's like that baby's born. It's like that new gear just kicks in.
But then also, like, if we got to go through that same process again.
Of what?
Remember, like, the hospital?
Well, that won't happen again.
Man, they had us come to the hospital. They were going to manually break her water.
They're gonna induce me.
Or induce
Well, I
you.
mean, which is
That's what it is.
induced me, and that did not work for several days.
So we were in the hospital for what, 3 days?
In total, a week. But yeah, 3 days before he was even born.
Yeah, I mean, we sat, and I mean, the hospital was freezing the whole time. I mean, that was just crazy.
Yeah, that was. I don't even remember that. I'm like, I mean, I remember it, but it's like I don't even think about that.
I mean, typically I don't, but like talking about this, that's one thing that I thought about. Like, could you imagine having to wait that long with him?
Well, it's just I would be there probably by myself a little bit while you're here with him until it's time. Then
Yeah, that would be crazy. I don't think I've ever left your side for that long.
what do you mean?
For a whole week.
Oh, well, yeah.
That'd probably be the longest we've been apart.
I've taken girls trips for 5 days.
But that's not a week.
We were only there 5 days. It wasn't a week. We were there from Monday night
You said a week.
to Friday afternoon. That's a week. I think I need it with a little silk.
Those chocolate chunks. Nah. You can't drink, guys. Let's be honest. Almond milk is not the same as regular milk. I'm sorry.
No, I don't think anybody
Like,
is
I
arguing
like-
that.
I like when you mix it in like with oatmeal. Like it's cool. Like you don't notice a difference. Or like anything else, like those like if you want to put them in your pancake mix or something like that. But like just to sit here and drink it, I don't think I could do that. I like it with the Honey Nut Cheerios. So if you guys like this, please just give us a like, comment, and maybe we could do like, we were thinking about doing one, because guys, we've been together for 11 years and counting now. But we've only been married for 2, so if y'all want to hear about the details of all that, let us know.
I don't think we can get into details.
Well, I mean, you know what I'm saying.
This is amazing.
Yeah, but you typically don't like sweet, so it's very sweet.
Is there oatmeal in here?
I think it is.
Ooey gooey goodness. It's still kind of warm.
They're always pretty warm.
I don't think I've ever had one of these before.
You haven't?
No.
Why wouldn't it be?
Roro, say goodbye to the people.
Guys, this is Roro, aka, no, really, his name is Romeo, aka Roro, aka Kit Kat.
Kit Kat.
His full name is Romeo Kit Kat Gray.
RKG.
And right now he's in his
People are gonna be like,
savage mode.
people are gonna be like, you let your cat on the table? That's disgusting.
But I mean,
Yeah. He gets on our table.
I'm not gonna lie.
He gets on our counter.
I thought that was disgusting too,
I don't care.
because this one is the reason that we even have the cat to begin with, because I never was raised around animals or pets or anything like that.
And you love the crap out of him now.
He's cool at times. At times.
You know when, like, during those first couple months, like, when you would leave for work, I would get so scared. Because, like, you remember, like, you would call after work and be like, how was it? And, like, I'd be in, like, tears, because that's when he would, like, I told you it was, like, his awakening hour.
Yeah.
He used to, like, turn into, like, a whole different human being. It was, like, every time you left, so, like, I associated, like, when the sun went down and, like, when you left, I got, like, so emotional every time.
That is very true. I forgot about those times. I mean, that was like, it feels like ages ago now.
It does not feel like it's been only 5 months. Like, when you think about it like
know.
that, that feels like it was a year ago.
At least. Because, yeah. So does that mean time's going by fast? Is he making time go by fast? Or?
Then time went by real slow, but after about the 3rd month, it just goes in fast forward.
Because I feel like now, yeah, time is just like, it's like going. It's like now we're starting to get into a rhythm. Also, that's like another thing. Like with a baby, like, don't ever, like, you can try to say like what you're going to do and we're going to do it like this and do it like that. But I've learned that you're on the baby's time for sure.
To an extent, those first 2 months, but around the time when we started to learn about the wake times and then the napping every hour.
But it's just like, it feels like every day now, like, and I mean, you just don't know, like, how many of those cans has he gone through?
Oh, the formula?
The formula, yeah. I mean, it's been several. And now all of a sudden it seems like we're thinking that that's the issue.
But as he grows, he can grow into different allergens of things.
Right. I mean, I understand that, but...
And especially with you and how sensitive everything is inside and outside of you, I'm worried about him and his food sensitivities and stuff.
You don't have to tell that to the folks.
He has very sensitive skin. Certain foods make him swell up.
In the back of my throat. It's weird. Like, I have a weird relationship with shrimp. We're having storage issues. And we also lost a nice chunk of this mukbang. We're just really coming back in to close this out. We thank y'all for tuning in. And if y'all want more, prove it. All right? And, I mean, do you have anything else to say? I mean, because you don't really say much, so.
I do not, especially now that we don't have a lot of time on the phone.
Okay, so close the video out.
It's not my video. You close it out.
I mean, it's a family thing. Please.
Thanks for watching.
We love you. What are you doing?
Okay, it's filming. You have ketchup. Cookies. Oh, they're warm.
Do a thumbnail.
Oh yeah. Oh, you get the cookies up.
Or what if?
What is what?
What if you have the cookies and I'm looking at you like
Just take a crazy picture.
okay.